Hello everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about a movie called Spread 2009.
Does she have a bathtub?
The movie begins by showing Nicky walking out of an expensive house. The thought of how handsome he is runs through his mind. From his very first day in Los Angeles, he dreamed of hanging around women, which he's succeeded perfectly. This evening, Nicky pops into a nightclub and bumps into his future victim Samantha. At first, she pretends she doesn't want to hang out with him, but his pressure was much stronger. Eventually, he manages to get her into bed. It's a new day. Samantha has to leave for work, but Nicky pretends to still be asleep. To his surprise, she doesn't kick him out, but instead gives him her credit card to buy some food. While she is at work, he swims in the pool and also tries to cook dinner, thus extending his stay at the cottage. When Samantha returns, he does everything he can to make her feel like a queen. And when asked what he works as, he replies, "Nothing yet." They begin to make love. For the next few days, everything repeats itself. But one day, she is called to another city. Nicky manages to convince Samantha that he should stay home. All this for the sake of a cool party where his best friend Harry has been invited. Their conversation is interrupted by Nicky's ex-girlfriend Helen. Nicky is concerned that she will guess that this house isn't his, causing her to ask Harry to get her out of here. Their conversation is interrupted again, but this time by Christine. She asks to see his house. Nicky can't resist and takes advantage of this to get her into bed at the end of the demonstration. Later, the two friends are alone together, and Nicky offers Harry a place to sleep in the next room. A new day arrives. Nicky invites her friend Emily, who is well aware of what a manipulator and liar he is. Even so, she can't resist him, and they make love. Emily offers to start a serious relationship, but Nicky refuses and just takes her to a motel. At home, he had business with another girl, but everything spoils unexpectedly returned Samantha. A fight starts between them, but Nicky manages to convince her to keep the relationship alive. A new day arrives. While Samantha is at work, Nicky goes into a cafe. Heather works there, but she is different and rejects Nicky's advances. The guy doesn't want to back down, so he doesn't pay the bill and leaves his number. Heather quickly finds him and orders him to pay the bill. Nicky offers to show the house, but she gives a clear no. All the next few days, he can't stop thinking about Heather, causing Samantha to fade into the background. He gets an idea: ask a friend to help. Nicky will pretend to be a rich businessman, and Harry will be his assistant. Heather notices his expensive car and tells Nicky that he's facing a parking ticket. Nicky runs out of the cafe and does everything he can to avoid getting a ticket, but apparently it doesn't work. But Heather does give him her number. That evening, Nicky tries to call Heather, which Samantha sees perfectly well. A new day is dawning. Harry tells her to forget the waitress, but Nicky can't stop until she gets what she wants. Afterward, Nicky pranks a friend, which Harry doesn't like, and kicks the friend out. That same afternoon, Heather calls Nicky back and suggests they go out to dinner. There, she gets a phone call from someone, which forces the girl to leave immediately. Nicky doesn't understand what it was and asks for an explanation. But Heather just leaves without saying anything. Tomorrow, Samantha accuses Nicky of dating someone. And since he denies everything, she asks him to take her to the hospital and pick her up the next day. After he takes her to the hospital, Nicky returns to the cafe and finds that Heather no longer works here. But when he gets home, he finds her swimming in the pool. She apologizes for having to leave. She tells him that her brother has a rare disease and needed help right away. A new day arrives. Nicky takes Heather's key to park her car, but to his surprise, there were a couple of cigars in the car. He is sure the cigars belong to her boyfriend, so he orders her to get out. When he arrives at the hospital, the doctor informs him that after the surgery, they will need to hold off on making love for a while so that everything heals well. A few days later, Samantha notices that Nicky has stopped returning her calls, and the woman has to end their relationship. Before leaving, a call comes in on Nicky's phone, and an angry Samantha throws it into the water. A homeless Nicky tries to enlist Harry's support, but after their argument, he has no intention of opening the door. Emily similarly won't let a manipulative man into her home. Desperate, he dials Harry to apologize and suggests they meet at a club. There, he meets Sean. Seeing them talking to the women, Nicky starts to feel uncomfortable and tries to stand up for them. Nicky ends up getting kicked out of the establishment. Harry states that the girls are just dancers, to which Nicky replies that he shouldn't objectify women. Harry calls such words hypocritical. Looking for a new home, Nicky tries to sneak into the party but is quickly kicked out. A new day arrives. Having saved up the last of his money, he rents the cheapest motel. This life does not suit him, so he comes to the most expensive hotel and chooses his new victim. To his surprise, Heather is at the hotel. She accuses the guy of his tastes, forcing Nicky to admit that he has no money neither for housing nor for food. It's his only chance to feel human. Just as suddenly, Heather insults Nicky's current target, showing that she's just like him. A little later, she invites him to her house, but he should consider that she has a drug-addicted neighbor who never leaves her room. Heather admits that she's broken up with the owner of the Porsche she's been driving. Now she has a much bigger goal in mind. Duo starts working as a team. Nicky helps her find a new rich victim for a portion of the proceeds. Well into the evening, the couple party together and they start dating. After eating an expensive meal, Heather gives out a piece of tinfoil and asks to chew it along with the food. Under this pretext, the duo refuses to pay. Every day their relationship grows stronger, but Heather continues to make money the same way, which bothers Nicky a lot. While he was sleeping, she receives a package full of petal growth. Nicky notices Heather in a rather depressed state, and when asked, "What happened?" she replies, "Broke up the wedding." Nicky doesn't understand why she didn't say anything. She says that her fiancé was a very rich man who owned a company in New York, but Nicky is much more important to her. Nicky asks if her feelings are real or part of an act. Heather calls them sincere since she chose him, even though Nicky has no money. Nicky sees this as an insult, causing him to leave for a cafe where he refuses all offers as he wants to start a new life with Heather. Before returning home, he finds a newspaper with job vacancies. But at home, there was a note from Heather on the table. She needs to go back to New York and take care of a couple issues. Nicky immediately tries to call her, but no one answers the call. A new day arrives. He bumps into his old friend. Seeing that she is drunk, he offers her a ride home. Suddenly, there's a call on his phone from Heather. She swears she didn't go to her ex. That's when she notices a woman's voice. Nicky tries to explain that he was just trying to help, but Heather thinks he's back at his old job and hangs up. Back at Heather's apartment, he tries to talk to her neighbor, who suggests he fly to New York to propose to Heather. But here's the problem. Nicky has no money. He is helped by Harry, who tells his story. Upon arrival in the city, Nicky comes to the address of the groom. The door of the apartment is opened by Heather. Nicky is well aware that she is hurt and swears that nothing happened. She needs to realize that her life is not what she dreams of because money will not bring happiness. But Heather refuses to go back. Nicky pulls out a ring to show that he's ready for more, but Heather replies that she's already married. Just then, Will walks into the room. Heather pretends Nicky is just a regular delivery man. The man gives Nicky a few dollars and he leaves with a broken heart. Upon his return to Los Angeles, he intends to fix his life by working multiple jobs. One of the jobs was at Samantha's house, who had already found a replacement for him. To save money, he convinces Harry to let him stay with him. That although he used to hate his frogs, he now happily feeds them. And that's the end of the movie. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your comment. See you very soon. Bye.